Yo, what's going on guys? Kevin Pack here. Welcome to the channel. I know I've been getting a lot of new subscribers lately, so I just want to introduce myself and welcome you to the channel. My name is Kevin Pack. I'm a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call me. I run an Amazon FBA business and also run an education business where I teach people how to sell on Amazon and also consult them if they do have an Amazon business themselves. And I want to welcome you to today's video where I want to talk about 5 money habits that I've learned in my 20s. Right now I'm 25 years old, and through the years I've learned a lot. I haven't always been, I guess, money savvy or have a high financial IQ, but I've learned a lot over the years. And I think the beauty is that you start off with nothing, you don't know anything, but you learn and you progress and you become much more successful. So I want to talk about 5 of the money lessons that I've learned. I got my handy dandy laptop and a monster to help me get through the day. So let's do this. So one of the first early things that I've learned when I was getting into making money, having a job, getting that first paycheck and starting your own business as well, is learning how to budget, because budgeting gives you a lot more control over your life. Of course, money is gonna help you be able to live your life, be able to support yourself, have a roof over your head, and feed you as well. So it's important to actually know where all of your money is going, where every single penny is going, and allocating all of that in the right areas for bills, food, etc., and knowing when to discipline yourself to not spend more than you have to, right? So learning how to budget is probably one of the strongest things that will get you forward in life, knowing exactly where every dollar is and controlling where everything is being spent. And particularly if you keep track of it, whether it's through, writing things down, or if it's through an Excel sheet, or like myself, I use a app called Every Dollar that I use to kind of budget everything. It's a lot easier just because it links to my bank account and I can just drag things over to where I spend things. And learning how to budget gives you a predictable sense of income and gives you a very, I guess, clear face to the palm type of thing where you're like, oh man, I spent too much here, or I didn't spend enough here, or I need to save more here, right? So budgeting, I think, is a very important thing that you need to learn how to do in your 20s as soon as possible. Doesn't matter how you do it, just make sure you know where every dollar is going. Next up is saving up for the sake of saving is just useless. You need to save with a purpose. If you guys didn't know, inflation is a real thing, and that means that everything is getting more expensive and the dollar is getting less and less valuable for what it is. So a dollar buys you a lot less today than it did 20 or 30 years ago. And that's true. So if you keep your money in a bank account, it's not gonna grow or do anything. So what I always recommend and what I've learned is that you can't just save for the sake of saving. You need to save with purpose, meaning you need to save whether it's for a big purchase like a car, or if it's saving for a down payment for a new house, or it's saving to start your business. It's any of those things that you need to do. It needs to be with purpose. You can't just have money sitting in the bank for no reason, just for the sake of just hoarding money. It's not gonna do anything. Number one, you're not gonna be able to enjoy your money. And number two, it's not gonna grow. It's not gonna do anything. So when you save, make sure you're saving with purpose. Make sure you're doing it with a purpose. Whether, again, whether you're saving for a big purchase, like I am, I'm saving up for a house right now. Before, a couple years ago, it was saving to start my own business. So anything like that, right? You could save for investments and things like that. But those are important things that I think everyone should learn to do, is not save for the sake of saving, save for the sake of purpose, and use that purpose to move forward. Next up thing I learned was to stop spending money on things that don't give good returns. Now this could be like things that are monetary or not monetary, right? It doesn't necessarily have to give you a dollar value back. It could be simply that something that will provide you long-term happiness or long-term gain. So what I mean by that is, if you're not financially stable, stop spending money on really dumb things, right? You don't need really expensive shoes. You don't need a really expensive car or anything like that if you don't even have your own place to live, to be honest. Like if you don't even have your own apartment or anything like that, you shouldn't be really spending these kind of things on that. I particularly love spending on luxurious things and, sneakers and cars and stuff like that. But I made sure that I was financially stable first before those things came into fruition. I also am a big believer in spending money on things that give long-term gains or happiness. So what I mean by that is spending money on like maybe a seminar or a mentorship program that will give you more knowledge and more tools to be more successful later on. Another thing I'm not afraid to spend money on is experiences. So going on vacations, going on very nice dinners or new lunch places, lunch spots or whatever, new beaches, anything that's going to give me a new experience is gonna be something that's more worth it to me because it's long-term happiness that I've gained. And this is time that I've used wisely. So to recap that, spend money on things that actually give you a good return, whether it is happiness in the long term or financial gain as well, okay? Or knowledge as well. So these things are very, very important, and I would advise restricting yourself on spending things that are only temporary happiness, short-term happiness, like, you know, that shoe that you really want. It's good to just have patience and withdraw from instant gratification. Next up is paying yourself first. Now, I believe I learned this from Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but essentially what it is once you get paid, whether it's through a paycheck or through your business, whatever, the first thing you wanna do is pay yourself first. It means putting money into your savings, your retirement, whatever, and then you pay the bills. Then you leave whatever's left over to the bills or whatever, right? So I do this all the time. So when money comes in, the first thing I do is put into my savings towards my business, or I will the first thing is it goes into my Roth IRA account. So that's my retirement investment account. And then the others go into my savings, emergency fund, whatever the case may be. And then I pay myself with the bills, with electricity, internet, whatever the good stuff is. Those are afterwards. So I pay myself first, then I take care of the bills later. And I think that's very important because you always know that you have money for yourself before you give out your money, right? So before you're losing money, you already secure yourself first. So I think that's a very important thing to practice on a weekly, monthly basis whenever you get paid. Lastly, the fifth most important money habit that I learned in my 20s is having multiple streams of income, okay? I think this is super important, especially through the last pandemic that we've had recently. I mean, we're still technically in a pandemic, but people have been struggling, people have lost their jobs, people have gone through the trenches. And one of the major problems was that they had only one source of income. Personally, for myself, I have about 5 or 6 sources of income. And what this allows you to do is have flexibility in case 1 or 2 of them go bad, the other ones are supporting you. So in my case, let's say my Amazon business is kind of slow this month. I have my mentorship education business that will carry me afloat and have enough money to go into my savings, pay my bills, and keep me good, right? And then there's my YouTube income as well. Like any of them, if one of them goes down, the other one supports you and you're good, right? And if that one goes down, the other one goes up and it still supports you. Or if all of them are good, you're fully supported and you have extra money that you can save for your emergency fund or whatever. But having multiple streams of income is a great way to save your ass and make sure that you are financially secure and stable, and gives you a little bit more freedom of your life. So those are the 5 money tips that I've learned in my 20s so far. Of course, as the years go on, I'm probably gonna learn more, and maybe I'll do another one when I learned my 30s. Well, you know, what have I learned in my 30s about money, right? But that is the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you guys again for being a part of the channel. Thank you so much for supporting as well. I don't know where I would be without you guys, and I really appreciate every single viewer and subscriber on this. You guys make me a better person. You guys encourage me to push for better, even though you might not say anything to me. But yeah, so thank you guys again. As always, go make that money, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.